Hi guys, welcome to my FlossTube video. My name is Emily and I'm here to tell you today about what I'm going to be doing for Flossmas. I'm not going to lie, I have now recorded, this is my third attempt at recording this video. I started yesterday, finished, I did an early, so that's 5 in the morning till 2, got back, went into the conservatory, light was getting a bit iffy. I thought, brilliant, I'm going to go for it. Got about 25 minutes into it and I was freezing cold. It was like 10 degrees Celsius in there. The heating had been off in the conservatory. There's underfloor heating, there's a radiator, but it was so cold. But you know, put the heating on, but it wasn't enough to warm up the room quickly enough. And I was literally like, my teeth were chattering and it was getting darker and darker and darker. So I went and got my light and that just made me look sinister. It looked like I'd fallen out of the bad side of Halloween. So I retreated upstairs and set up with a white background behind me. Perfect. Right, sat down, did my video, and it went wrong. You know, sometimes with my tablet, if I go over 30 minutes, it goes wrong. So it went wrong, but it allowed me, and then I just restarted, and then my SD card filled, and then I restarted again, and it was fine. It was fine. So it let me put them into the editing software. It let me edit the video, and then when I went to save the video, the first piece, the half an hour, corrupted, and I was beside myself. I'd done all of that for nothing. So I had some sleep. I've done a 10-hour shift. I was 7:05 today. I've had a McDonald's because I had a McDonald's for tea, which is not usual, and now I'm home. So it is now Sunday the 26th of November. Flossmas starts in 5 days, and it is 20 past 6, a quarter past 6 at night, 6:17. So it is pitch black here. So this is the best the light's going to be with my big bright light up, and yeah. So I'm going to pretend that I didn't already record this video. What's going to happen is I'm going to take it to where I know the second video cuts in, and I'm just going to go, right guys, back to yesterday, and we're going to go back to yesterday, because I'm not doing the whole thing again, because it was actually an hour-long video. So anyway, right, so let's see what stitching I've done in the last, it's now 11 days. I feel like I'm adding and editing onto yesterday's video. It's been 11 days since I posted a floss tube, and I didn't know whether I was going to be doing 2 more before Flossmas, but this is it. This is the one before Flossmas. The next one will be December the 1st. So I'm going to show you today what I've done in the last 11 days and my plans for Flossmas. So I'm going to get my stitching out of the way first because there's only 3 pieces to show you, and then we'll roll into Flossmas plans. So my pilgrim is out of the Q-snap because I'm now putting it away until probably January. But I am, see if I can remember, 8,000 and something stitches away from, I'm just pulling it up on Pattern Keeper. I am 8,359 full crosses away from finishing and some backstitch. So it's at 85.23%. So that's all right. Anyway, last time I recorded, it looked like this. And I know I have all the pictures because I've already edited this video. Kind of. Corrupted. Oh, it was so sad. Anyway, now putting it away point is here. So as you can see, I have, let's let the colour adjust, there we go. I have stitched all of the frog. Sorry, it doesn't like this colour at all. It's refused. There we are, we're in focus now. So I've stitched all of the frog, the funny little squirrel on his back, and a funny little squirrely thing there that's got no tail yet, half a tail. So that bit's done. So that's all, that's 8,200 stitches there to finish. I just need to finish that corner off and that'll be it. So that is an aim for a finish. Well, that bit looks a bit sad. On Long Dog Leap Day. Finish and I'll start Ragnarok. So jolly good. Somebody did ask me what thread I'm using. This is Mrs. Sadus Darling Silk. So you buy a big hank. You can get them in mini skeins, but I bought a big hank. You could only buy big hanks then, I believe. Bear in mind, this is 4 years in the running here, and yeah, it's beautiful, absolutely beautiful. And I'm using 2 strands on, I think, 32 count that I dyed myself. I was aiming for a lovely dark purple and got magenta, but I think it still works really well, and I'm loving it, and I'm nearly there. So I worked on my treasure hunt bookshelf. I'm currently stitching the night. I didn't move the Q-snap at all. All I did was put the top clamp back on from the last time I showed it to you, which is here, and I'm getting on pretty well. I've still got quite a lot of stitches to do this month. I think 12 or 1400 stitches. In fact, if I open up my calculator, it's probably going to give me 1728 stitches left to do this month, because I did the sum the last time I recorded. Anyway, the knight now looks like this. So there he is. He's looking really good. I've got a few more colours to put in him to have him finished. I was actually missing 2 purples in my stash. How did I not have 2 purples? So it was 327, I think it was, and 3000 something. So I went and got them, and he's coming along. So for the rest of this month, my 1700 stitches, I'm going to completely finish this night, and then I'm going to come, where was I going to go? Up this side, I think, here, and I'd like to finish off whatever this is here. I'm not sure if it's Rapunzel sitting on top of a tower or something. And this bright pink that she's sitting on here, I want to finish that as well. I think it might be a spine of a book, might be a little tower, I'm not sure. I'd like to get this bit here filled in, and that might be my stitches. I'm currently leaving the big blocks of black because going down to get Maddie in the middle of December, and I'm not driving, so hopefully I'm going to be able to stitch in the car. I say this with some trepidation because I get incredibly motion sick. I can't even look at a message on my phone if I'm a passenger in a car without getting motion sick. So it's going to be interesting to see if I can stitch, but what I'll do before I go is, if it's a block of 310, I'll find the other side, stitch the border, so that I've just got some fill in, and there's some pretty big chunks of colour, you know, of 310, of 939 close by to this night, so I'm going to block him out. And for December, I'm just going to stay in this area. I'm not going to go hunting for anything else in December, because I just need to get stitches done in December, don't I? Because I need to get my stitches in for the month, but my December's going to be pretty full on stitch wise, which I'm really looking forward to. But yeah, I don't want to be hunting for anything new or anything in December. So anyway, so I pulled out a different project to start stitching on because Christmas. Oh, I've got a new coffee stain. That's wet. That's rubbish. That's been in my work bag. My coffee cup must have leaked a little bit. Oh well, there's a new addition to it. Now, this was in my fix-it pile in my whip parade. It is called, oh, I knew yesterday. It's called Winter Fairy Tale, and I'll put up here who I bought it from on Etsy. Again, I looked it up yesterday, so it won't be too hard to find to re-edit the video. And I finished at the end of last year at I can't remember. Cool, it's gone straight out my brain. I finished at the end of last year at there 16.85%, because I spilled coffee all over it and it was on the stitching, so I had to scrub the stitching, which I did back at about Easter time. You'll see a lovely new wet coffee stain on it now, but at least it's not over the stitching. So I picked it back up. Here's where I am now. It's currently at, oh, let me pull up Pattern Keeper again. Doop 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 doop. There it is. Winter Fairy Tale. It's now at 20.52%. So I've got 1 more percent on than I had yesterday. So what I decided to do, it's quite a pretty picture. Here's what it's going to look like finished. So you can see it's really pretty. And now I'm understanding that maybe I should have done it on like a silvery grey fabric or something other than white Ada. But white Ada is what I found. So white Ada is what I'm using. So, because there's an awful lot of white stitching going in here, which of course, look at this. This is wet. Ugh. It'll come out when I wash it. So, it was a piece of gridded DMC, because it's gridded in the red. I think it's possibly 18 count. Anyway, what I've decided to do is finish it like a dial. So, pick it up here and kind of finish it like that, because obviously I've done the animals. That was the fun bit, that's the bit I liked, but the background is beautiful. It's coming together really nicely now, but there's a lot of white stitching to put in here, which if it was on like a grey, it would have really stood out and been beautiful, but it's on white. Never mind. So I'm going to, when I've finished my thread here, I'm going to come back down here and finish off. So I'm going to do each sort of colour until a couple of strands runs out, and then do the next bit until a couple of strands run out, and it's got a lovely border that goes right up and round. So I probably won't stitch on this a great deal in December, but I'm putting some stitches into it now because it is a Christmassy piece, a wintry piece, so I'm stitching on it now. Right, so there we go. There's my current stitching, and I'm going to move into Flossmas plans. Small public announcement before then. Thank you very much to the people who did go to my Etsy shop and bought some things from me. I'm very appreciative. I've got 2 pieces to post, 2 little orders to post out. They will get posted on Tuesday. If you're a subscriber and you watch me, then if you've got everything else, anything ordered before a couple of days ago, and if it's marked as shipped, it's shipped. It's on its way. So there we go. So thank you very much. Flossmas, I did do an Instagram post. I'm making 3 different items for Flossmas, of which I'll be giving away 4 of each item. I am making extras, and they will be going up in packs in my Etsy shop, but in Flossmas, because they're not ready yet, because I'm not finished. So yeah, but that's with the specific hope that I sell a couple of packs and that will cover the postage costs of the giveaways, because I'm aiming to not be too out of pocket this year, because it's a very tight year for me. I did a big long spiel before, but I don't need to. If you like my stuff and you don't win a giveaway, there'll be a few packs and there'll be all 3 items together up on Etsy. But again, that'll be linked below. Google form, I'm going to have a look tonight. I'm just going to stop my video, hang on. Yeah, so I lost my place then. Yeah, there'll be all 3 items together as sold as a set. So that'll be that. And yeah, I was really pleased with how the needle minders came out. They were really, really pleasing. And obviously I'm doing some bits with some fabric. So yeah, getting on. The dogs go bananas, that if you can hear them, are not my dogs. I don't know what's going on out there. Anyway, you probably can't hear it. Right, so Flossmas. Now, I don't know quite when I'm going to be recording. I ideally would like my videos to go up at the same time every day, but with my work schedule being either earlys or lates, I don't think that's going to be possible. I have got a nice chunk of days off in December. As I say, I will be going to go and get Maddie during that time again, but I'm going to do a bit of an advent for me. So my advent is going to consist of 12 new starts, which I'll show you, and 12 unloved whips. So every other day, so odd days will be a new start, even days will be working on an unloved whip. That might be something I just haven't got to this year. It might be something that I haven't got to for a long time. It might be something that I just need a bit of a kick up the backside to get on with. We'll wait and see. I've got the pile right here. The one on the top is an undecided because I might not be able to stitch on this one. So I'll show you this one first. It's Barbara Anna's Seasons, the 4 Seasons. It was a Nitka Mosca kit. I'm not using the kit fabric. I've got a piece of 36 count Lakeside Needlecraft granite, and that's where I am. So she's got a garland in her hand, and then obviously I think that is her hand. She's holding the garland, and I've got the bottom of her dress, and then she'll be finished. She does fit in this oval hoop. However, one, there is a big coffee stain on it just here that I can see and you might not be able to. So one, it needs cleaning, and two, I can't find the threads. It was a kit. They're on a cardboard floss organizer and they're plaited. So if I find them, I'll know I found them, but I have been looking and I haven't found them yet. So if I can't turn them up, I'll substitute in another whip that will be who knows what, and that'll be a surprise. So the way I'm doing it is a surprise to me as well, because I'm going to put each project, either the actual project or the pattern or something, so I know what it is, into a paper bag. And if it's giveaway day, I'll put the giveaway in there as well. I'm going to seal it up with a sticker, and I'm going to get my kids to label, you know, the odd numbers and the even numbers. So the odd numbers will be the new starts, the even numbers will be the existing projects, and I'll then put them in the box in order. So I know what I'm doing, but I don't know what I'm doing on which day. So Barbara Anna, the Winter 4 Seasons. The second whip, just haven't got to this year, Long Dog Sampler, Dilemma. Again, on the same fabric, 36 count Lakeside Needlecraft granite, and it's currently there. So these are all going to get 1 day's work, which isn't very much, I grant you, but it'll be 1 day more work than they've had in them, and it might just give me a bit of a shove to get going. So this is with pomegranate, Karen Water Lily silk, 1 strand, and then inside the boxes, which I'm not going to get to yet, I'm going to do the whole of the border first. I've got a dinky dye in Mystic Pools, which is just glorious purple. So those are my 2 colours for that one. In there with it. So there's that. That's going to be another one. Then I've got What the Cat Saw, so Lola Crow. How have I not finished this? It's only that size. So 1 day's work on that might actually get some real definite progress on it. It's literally got a little bit of wallpaper. It literally is like this big. It's maybe that big, square. There's a cat, and there's obviously a sailing boat. It's a kraken. There's a cat, which I'm going to colour like Eric. So instead of it being whatever it is in the picture, I'm just going to do it ginger and white in the right places. And then there's a little sailboat getting golloped by the kraken. So there's that one. 1 day's work in that on a piece of very nasty 20 count gridded Ada. That's Zweigart, it's just brand new. It's not as old as the hills, but it hasn't been stitched on, so it's still very rigid. I've got Santa Quill, another Long Dog sampler that I started last Christmas in Flossmas on a beautiful piece of Weeks Dye Works purple. It's 30 count, and it is really that colour. It's lovely. And I've got a dinky dye Quicksilver. So there's that. That'll get one day's work, which will just give that a little bit of a joggle on. And I've got the Modern Folk embroidery. Look at this fabric. 2021 sale, and I am in March. I think the first piece I bought was September. I think I bought it in the September, and then obviously because you buy it when the sale ended, I got the whole lot sent to me. So January and February are done. March is nearly done. Here's my clay by Kim. She's there, sitting on there. That's where he lives. Yeah, so 2 purples. I'll see if a day's work can actually finish me March, but we'll see. Needs a good day's work. This is our 40 count, yes. Be Stitch Me called Punch that I was given. It's just beautiful. But I love this. I should stitch it and I should get it done, but not yet, obviously. And then I've got Night Walk Down. This is the first project bag I ever made. Look at it. It's totally tiny. I've got everything in there. I've not touched this for over 2 years. And it was one of the first-ish things I started, to be honest. And it was back in the days when I just did my own thing, make up my own colours. So I did. And I've only done that much. There's, oh no, I've done the cat. Hang on, let me unfold it a bit more. I've done that much. So it's the Blue Flowers Night Walk Down. I love it. I love it so much. But to be honest, the fabric broke my heart. I ordered this piece of fabric from 123 Stitch from America. It's Picture This Plus Storm. And yeah, it was in the picture on my phone, on my tablet. I checked and checked and checked because it was in my basket for a long time. It was purple. It was pale violet, really. When it arrived, it was grey. It's pretty, it's mottly. So the same day I dyed this, I over dyed this. You can see the splodgy purple, exactly the same colour. I was very discreet with it. Nowadays, of course, I would have gone absolutely ham with it and covered it completely, but you can see I over dyed just to try and get a purpley hue into it. So it has a bit. I just need to stitch on this. It's almost like it's given me a mental block on it. So 1 day's work for definite, and I'm really hoping that I love it and get with the program. Then I'm out of focus. There we go. I'll put 1 day's work into You Are All Kinds of Amazing, and Emma Congdon from a Cross Stitcher magazine, February 2021. So that's nearly 3 years old. Where's my kit up of this? Here we go. I can just actually find the project. So I made up my own colours here. I dyed the fabric myself. It didn't quite go as navy blue as I wanted, but that's where I am. So I need to focus on it. So it's kind of a muty kind of colourway, and the colours, the kit up for it is in this bag. Anybody from the UK remember, and who's over 40 possibly, remember these bags from the co-op? Look at this paper. This is vintage. This bag's possibly 35 to 40 years old. It came from a house clearance with something in it. Anyway, I converted this to all kinds of anchors, stuff I already had. So that's in this vintage paper bag from the co-op, which is like 7-Eleven perhaps. It's a corner shop. Every village has a co-op. It's like the village shop generally, but it's a big, like, yeah, it's like a, yeah, pretty much like a 7-Eleven. Everyone has those. Don't know, the only 7-Elevens I've been to are in Thailand, which probably is not what I'm thinking of. But you know what I mean. It's like it's a chain shop, but it's small little local shops. Anyway, if you're not in the UK, everyone in the UK is going, what's she talking about? Everyone knows what a co-op is. Then I've got my Renato Parolin, this cushion, which this translates to something with friends or other. I mean, we've struggled to translate this. Anyway, I bought this pattern from Casa Sonina. I've not been able to, I have refused to buy from Casa Sonina since the Brexit rules came in, so that's been a while. I've been stitching on this for a long time, because they put all the import taxes and extra shipping and all of that palaver, and you have to pay VAT on it when it comes into the country, and it makes very reasonable patterns and fabric ridiculously expensive, like more expensive than getting it from America. So, because this is Casa Sonina is Italian. Anyway, it's on a piece of colonial blue, 32 count, I believe, Lugana, and I'm about halfway. I'm there. Little over halfway, I think. Just this bit here is over the line. These are over the line, I think. So I've got a long way to go. I will finish this into a cushion because what the hell else am I going to do with it? And I'm using Dinky Dye Silk Mother of Pearl for this, which is the palest pastel. It's not white. Palest pastel shades. And while I've got my sewing machine out, I really need to do something before it completely unravels, because that's just sloppy. Okay, and oh yeah, this is called Dove of Peace or something. It has a little dove in it and the word peace, and it reminded me of something I used to paint when I used to work at the painting place. 2021 I left there. So yeah, it's been on the go a while. This has got quite a big piece of 20, possibly 32. I did buy a lot of 32 count Lugana from Casa Sonina one Christmas. Anyway, it's from a magazine. I've converted it into a PDF and it's stupid tiny. I really should be able to finish this. That's maybe 30 stitches by 45 stitches or something stupid. It's tiny. I really need to finish this. I just want it off my whip pile, so one day's work will go into that, and if I'm really close to finish, I might finish it. But anyway, that's in the pile for one day's work, and I'm going to put another day's work into the Shores of Hawkran Hollow, because 1, 2, 3 year block's done. Block for year 4 is not finished. I have done this block this year, but that's as far as I got. There's quite a bit of the Silver Moon in. It needs another day. So in this project bag, which is bears in pants, obviously, I've got the pattern, I've got all the threads, everything's in there. Something else is in there. What else is in there? Something hard's in there. Ooh! A notebook. I wonder what that's from. And a photograph of the deck of an LNG carrier. This is what I used to do. I used to work on ships like this. That is the Pacific, you can tell by the colour. We will be heading between Japan and Brunei, I think. That'll be where we'll be heading on that, one way or the other. Anyway, I was a deck officer on these big beasties. This one will have been 300 metres long, so you're getting on for 1,000 feet. That's what I did for a profession. This whole everything else I do now, it's just work. What is in this little book? Knitting patterns and things. Anyway, I was just wondering what was in there. Anyway, that's going to get a day, and then hopefully I'll get a little bit nearer finishing off. Well, I'm not going to do very much, am I, in a day? Some of these days will be heavy stitch days, and some of the days will not be. It depends if I'm working, it depends what shift I'm working. So there we go. Then I've got these, which is the colours for this, which is my restart of the new normal. So one day's work going into the new normal. This is on a piece of 40 count called Aegean. Again, Be Stitch Me. Again, lovely gift. Here, oh, this fabric's glorious. That's where I got to. And I came to a slidey stop with this one because I wasn't happy with this very variegated bubble, which has got a Prancy Pony in it. And I didn't think Prancy Pony was standing out enough, so I'm going to finish this bloody bubble. And I decided yesterday, why I didn't think of it before, that if he doesn't stand out, I'm just going to stitch him in so that he does stand out. I'll stitch him in something bold, possibly this darker green here, or this colour, something like that. I'll just stitch him in so that we can see him. And yes, that bubble will then be full coverage, but hey ho. But that's why I need to find a solution to the picture as to why I stopped stitching on it, because that needs doing. Again, that's been on the go a long time. So, how many left? One left? One left. Penguins on this one. That is my full kit up of my Fancy Lady. So my Celtic summer full kit that I got on eBay. And if you haven't met me, or I'm just clicking onto this because I mentioned the word Flossmas and you think, ooh, it's a Flossmas coming up, it is. I have the joy of the needle paints, which if you don't have them, or you can't get them, these are unobtainium. The only way you can get needle paints, which were the threads designed by the lady who designed the lavender and lace Celtic ladies. They were issued out in the 1980s and then gone. So I bought a vintage full kit. I changed the fabric because I'm me and the fabric is now bananas. There is my fabric. It is bananas. I was going for blossom and bush, I think. Blossom on a some sort of plant. Anyway, here's where I am. So I'm not at the beginning. I've done her hair, her face. Yes, I did her skin over one. It was ridiculous. I shouldn't have done, but I did. Which took forever because the stitches are tiny. And she'll get a day. And I know I'll want to keep stitching on her because she's so beautiful. I might even just try and get the words in. Put the summer in on the top or something. We'll see how I get on. Anyway, I've got everything I need in the bag. I'm just going to pop the fabric into my advent bag. And then the day I pull that out will be the day I stitch on it. So, that's that bit. I'm going to stop the video there and then I'm going to come back and show you my new starts. I'm just going to chop and change just so this doesn't go wrong because I can't be refilming this for a fourth time. Right guys, I'm back. So, on the uneven days, I'm going to do new starts. So, my video cuts out after the first new start I show you, I'm pretty sure. So I only need to show you that and then we'll cut to the video I did yesterday. So it's going to be completely different, but I'm just going to go with it. I think I explained all of this piece that I'm going to stitch and then my video went wrong. So this is 6 new starts and I'm counting it as 6 new starts because it's going to be 6 separate frame pieces. It's actually 10, but I'm only starting 6 of them. Now, I've had in my basket since Christmas last year, I've had in my basket a pattern that I wanted to stitch very much. And I finally took the plunge and bought it. So I'm going to put the picture right full screen to show you what I bought, because I absolutely love them. Absolutely. I was gifted last Christmas a set of, I think they're CXC threads. It's a full DMC list of threads. They're obviously polycotton because they're softer and fluffier. Got that feel that they've definitely got some rayon in them. Anyway, the colours I require are here, all bobbined up, ready, all numbered up in a box I was also given. So they're all the colours I need are there for all 10 of them. All 10 patterns came in a oneer, and I bought them from this lady here. I'll put it up here. On Etsy, she's Ukrainian, so I'm very pleased to have supported her, even though I probably should have bought the patterns a year ago. I bought myself 2 pieces of black 18 count Ada, because if I'm stitching on black, and I really think they need to be stitched on black, if I'm stitching on black, it's going to be Ada. They're 19 by 21, so is that fat quarter? Anyway, I'm hoping I can get 6 on one piece. I think on 18 count they're going to come out to fit maybe a 7-inch hoop. Hopefully not an 8, because that'd be a bit big, but it doesn't matter. I'll stitch them and then we'll find out. So all I'm going to grid is the centre, 6 centres, and then I'll start one each time. So I'm just going to put a picture of I'm going to just probably put a piece of paper in the envelope, in the paper bag for those start days, just so, because I can show you a picture of the one that I'll be starting. We picked the 6 that I'm going to stitch as new starts, and I'm going to start the spider, the ladybird, the dragonfly, that's 3, the bee is 4, the wasp is 5, and I'm going to start the butterfly is 6. So those are going to be the 6 new starts, leaving the Hoogie Flip, Firefly, and the Stag Beetle, and the Death's Head Moth, and this other really pretty beetle. Those 4 I'm going to leave. I'll start them in some other time. So those are going to be 6 starts. I'm counting them as 6 starts. That's my slight get around, because I don't want to add hugely to my whip pile, because it probably has bought as one pattern, it should maybe be 1 start, but I'm calling it 6, and I'm going to start 6 different ones. It's a bit like stitching the advent animals, isn't it, and doing one a day. Each one's its own entity, essentially. So that's my first 6 starts. Not my first 6 starts, 6 of my starts. I'm not going to know which order I'm going to get them in. That's the advent for me, is that it's going to be a surprise. It's going to be one of 24, isn't it? But it's going to be a surprise each day, what I get and what I start on that day. So that's my little surprise for Advent. And hopefully get some stitching into some old pieces, start some things. I'm quite excited to show you the rest of my starts, which I'm hopefully going to cut to the video in just a minute, and you can watch me yesterday, all out of sync, because they worked. Those videos I've still got. So there, we'll get that done. Yeah, cool. And that's me wrapping up for today, and we'll jump on to yesterday's video, and hopefully it'll all stitch together and work. So I'm just going to morph into yesterday. Bye. So of course that went horribly wrong. I've just had it, the last 10 minutes of my recording has disappeared. That's super fun. Okay, so that can go back on there. Anyway, I was telling you about these patterns. I'm not too. I've only listened back to find out where it went wrong from, and then I just froze like that. So that was good. Right. So these 10 patterns, I'm going to start 6 of them. It's a bit of a workaround, but 6 new patterns, isn't it? And they're definitely new. Right. I've kind of lost my thread a bit. Okay, so the next one I'm going to start is a Barbara Anna. Now I've just bought myself this Creative Poppy, and I bought myself a Christmas pattern, and it is Christmas is coming. It's not a new pattern. It is, has it got a date on it? 2018. Cool, 2018. So it's not a new pattern. I love it. I've stitched him on something else, and it's wonderful. Oh, he's riding the hare, the white hare. I've finished that. I love that. So this will go with it. I am stitching it on a piece of that I was gifted, 32 count Belfast linen in raw silver. So it's sparkly for Barbara Anna. Look, it's nearly about right. Perfect. And I've learned from Barbara Anna patterns that you just use the core 4 colours. Her patterns require no messing around with. I have messed around with them in the past. My Dreaming Girl was a cacophony of everything known to man. I've learned she's so good at what she does. I'm just going to use the DMC from a master set. Perfect. So I've got a lovely piece of 32 count raw linen, and I'm going to start this little present to myself. Cool. Now the next pattern is, I'm blaming partly Helen D, and I'm partly blaming Sarah the Stitching Mummy, because Helen gave it away and Sarah won it, so I saw it not once but twice. Of course, I never enter giveaways. I don't know why I never enter giveaways, but I never do. And it's this Shannon Christine Designs Christmas stamp collection. It appeals to me on every level. They're marvellous, they're small, they're fun, they look like I could possibly knock one out maybe in a day if I really tried hard, which I'm going to be doing because it's going to be pretty much all I stitch on that day. One start, not 6 starts, this is one start, and I'm going to stitch them with enough border to finish them each as ornaments for the Christmas tree. So again, I'm going to use the charted colours. I'm going to find probably the Nightmare Before Coffee fabric. I'll probably use that, the leftover from that, because that'll be a grey, so the white border will stand out really nicely. I might not put the back stitch on, or I might just change it from a cent to a pounds and pence, because of course I'm in the UK. Other than that, perfect, love it. Love Shannon Christine Designs. Oh my goodness me, I could have bought 5 or 6 patterns there and then. Instead, I bought two new starts. Shannon Christine Designs patterns. I'll do them on the same fabric, but number 2 is this. The winter stamp collection, of course. Look at the colours. It was meant for me. I just had never seen it before, otherwise I'd have bought it before. Anyway, there we go. So this will be in a different bag for a different day. Same thing again. I'll stitch them, finish them as little ornaments, and they can go on my Christmas tree. So there'll be 12 of them by and by. But hopefully I'll be able to knock one out in a day. So there's 2 starts there. Thank you, Shannon. Love them. I will be back to buy new patterns in the new year because I love her work. Yes, I still have new starts to show you. Right. Next is, so that is 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Right. Next one is one of the very, I'm sorry for the crinkling, Patchwork Rabbit crinkle. It's one of the first patterns I ever bought, ever bought. And I'm so sorry it's making that noise. I'm going to get it out of this little bag. Plum Street Samplers, Cowpile. I've started this before on a piece of 25 count white Nagana 2/2. That's where I was when I started this. I pulled it out, the stitches were awful. I UFO'd it, cut it out in a little strip. I literally did. I'll show you the little piece of pattern because Sorry, we fell. Now I upset my SD card. I'm doing so well today. Right, so cowpile. I stitched that much of it, the bit that's coloured in, that's all I'd stitched. So for cowpile, I found a piece of Weeks Dye Works, bought from Patchwork Rabbit, hence the crinkly bag for anyone in the UK who's bought from them. 30 count seafoam, Weeks Dye Works, bought at the same time as the purple piece. The piece is only that size, it will fit nicely, it's a beautiful colour, and I pulled from my delightful gift that I received overdyes. Look at me with my overdyes on a flostering. I'm evolving. So I needed two greens, cow colour, white, and a pink and a purple. So that's what I pulled. I've got tusk, chimney sweep, mint julep, pine tree, berry cobbler, and mulberry. They are all, oh, 2 colours and cottons, three colours and cottons, gentle art, and a classic colourworks. The gentle art was actually already mine. So there we go. So that's what I've pulled for that. I am aware that mint julep is exactly the same colour as seafoam. In reality, they look quite different on the camera. But the only where that is inside the darker green, and it just touches there and there. I can live with that. They went well together. So I won't put it back in the crinkly bag just now. So that is start 10. Start 11 is a huge pattern that I bought myself forever ago, back before Brexit. We're talking before Brexit came into force, because yes, when the regulations changed, I could no longer order from Casa Sonina, and I bought this from Casa Sonina. So it's been a good 3 years since I bought this pattern. This is Renato Parolin, because you've got to love a Renato Parolin, Seasons, and it's 4 trees, summer, autumn, winter, disco, and I'm going to start disco. I'm going to start winter, so it's actually kind of autumny colours to me, because it's a lot of yellows. This is winter here. And what I'm going to do, because I can, because I feel very, very fancy showing you my full half yard of Picture This Plus vellum. It's half a yard. Look at this, look at this. Wow. From 150 stitch, I have half a yard of 18 count Ada in vellum, which I'm in awe of. You can see I got sent some goodies from a very, very lovely lady who I didn't think to ask whether I could on video say thank you to, but she knows who she is, and thank you. So went through with my DMC colour chart, which was sent to me from somebody else a while ago, a few years ago, and picked and pulled. You can see to me they're very autumny colours, but from colouring cotton to a belle soie, if you please. It is silk, and lots of classic colours, classic colourworks. So we've pulled out some colours that worked really well on the vellum, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to stitch these all in a row. And we talked about it, and we decided a straight row with the border around it would be better. I was going to undulate them, but we want them in a straight row. So I'm going to start top right with winter, and they will fit. They will easily fit on this piece of fabric. So I'm just going to give myself my margins and start top right and go with it. So I've got kitted. I feel so fancy. This is not how I roll. I don't roll with kitted projects. I like go, I found this and I found that on the floor and this pattern and look, this piece of fabric that it fits with one stitch margin. Here's me with half a yard. Who do I think I am? I'm very, very grateful. Thanksgiving day before yesterday in America. Yeah, I'm thankful. Trust me, I'm thankful. Seasons, trees, but I'm going to start just the winter tree. Again, 4 patterns, 1 pattern. I'm doing it the other way around. I'm making 4 patterns, 1 pattern, as opposed to making 10 patterns, 1 pattern, 10 patterns. Same thing, same difference. And then the last thing I'm starting, I bought over a year ago, Long Dog Sampler, Happy Ever After, which is gorgeous. Because in case you hadn't gleaned, I am happily ever after at the moment, and I will talk to you about that probably during Flossmas. So this I am stitching on a piece of fabric that I dyed and loved back when I dyed the fabric for Halloween at Hawkrun Hollow, and it's this piece of Ada. Isn't it lovely? I really love it, and I've been waiting for something lovely to stitch onto it. And when I was dredging around through my patterns to do some starts, I remembered I'd bought this, and I thought now is the time. Now is the time. So I've picked just a few colours. I have got Chimney Sweep, but it's a completely different tone to the other Chimney Sweep because it's colour and cotton, and you get what you get. I've got Pearl White. I've got 2 skeins of Spectre, which I thought would sit very nicely on it too. And then I have a dinky dye in charcoal and a dinky dye of Black Sand Beach. So those are my colours, and I'm going to stitch whatever I fancy, wherever I fancy it. I might not use all of them. I might find I love something and don't love something else, and anyway, I've got options here, and this is my palette, and that's my 12th start. So there we go. Stupidly long video. It's conked out twice on me, and I had a false start in the conservatory, so Flossmas is on its way. Oh, and last year's terrible stop motion stitching here, which needs a little bit of help. That one there is broken and is really broken and really glued down. Oh, really glued down. Okay, I'll put another one in there instead, because now there's probably a hole. There's definitely a mark. I'll put another one there. So my terrible stop motion from last year, this will be day 24's giveaway. Just like this. I'm just going to put it in an envelope like that. I'm going to finish it into a little pillow and then put it in a Ziploc bag and take all the air out of it so that I can post it, like I did with the giveaway I did in 2020, year before last, 2021. Yes, it was Barbara Anna. Oh, I nearly stitched her. I nearly started her, the Christmas girl. I nearly stitched her for me because I gave her away that year. I stitched her during Flossmas and gave her away. So this is going to be a little pillow, and I'll give it away on the 24th because that was my stop motion from last year. But if you remember, it was dreadful, absolutely terrible, because I didn't do it in a one because I couldn't, because it was more stitching than I was banking on. Anyway, so that's it. That's Flossmas. We've done it. Well, welcome to 2024. Let's do a whip parade. No, so I'll start next week, and I'm going to just put either the cover sheet or the fabric, or if it's the little one like Happily Ever After, I'll just put that all in a little bag, and then my kids can just write. I'm just going to say, right, Lizzie, write 2 to 24 on loose bags, Flora write 1 to 23 in odds and evens, so that I don't know what's what day's which. And that's going to be my advent, is not knowing what I'm going to get each day. I know the things, well, you know the things now that I'm going to find, but which day I'm going to find them on and which day I'm going to get to stitch them on, whether it's going to be a big stitchy day or a little stitchy day, that's going to be the advent for me. So please visit my Etsy shop, please buy something from me, and when the packs of Flossmas giveaways, the things I will give away in Flossmas go into my Etsy shop, that will be helping with postage. So if you like my bits and bobs and you can, that will be lovely, because that helped me pay the postage, because I won't accept anything else. You know, it's no good offering me money because I'm not going to take it. But you can always buy something from me, because then I can give you something in return, if you see what I mean. That's the only way I'm ever going to do this. I know that now. So there we go. Right. Thanks guys. This is going to be a long video. I hope you've kept up with my randomness. Glad I sorted the lighting out. I now have somewhere I can record on dull winter nights without big lights or ring lights or any kerfuffle. I've just got dead feet because I've been kneeling on the floor for the best part of an hour. Now I'm going to go and see if my tea is ready. I'll get this video processed and up by and by. Right guys, thank you for watching. I will see you on the 1st of December. It'll either be recorded on the 30th of November and I'll put it online on the 1st of December early, or it'll be on the 1st of December, but I need to open my bag and see what I've got so that I know what I'm stitching on that day. I don't want to run in arrears. I want to stitch on bag 1 on the 1st. So I've got to open it early enough, but obviously I want to record that. But equally, if I'm on an early, that's 3:30 in the morning. I might do that. I'll see you later. I'll work it out. We'll work it out and I'll see you on December the 1st. Bye guys.